Hey everybody, it's Chris and Tony back for another Hoosier Beer collection of the Tiger Sock series, Blue Collar Beer Gourmet.
Hey, everybody.
Once again, we're going to avoid talking about baseball too much.
Well, we don't know what the next week will hold,
That,
so
that's true, that's true. But yeah, just the way things are right now, it's
let's not
probably
feel like it.
yeah. We
We're
are going to be
still
drinking
fans.
a Hoosier beer sent to me by my man Chris in Indiana, Mr. Gone V6. If you want to
Chris
check him out
rules.
on Instagram,
He
very
rules.
cool guy. He
He
sent
rules.
us this, and I'm sure those of you who are in the beer world will recognize, even before you recognize the word zombie dust, you'll recognize the
That cat.
crazy zombie
That kooky cat.
warlord. And yes, this is in fact zombie dust from Three Floyds Brewing. Um,
Much hype. I know.
this
I
is
know much less about it than you
it
do.
is a pale ale. I don't know much about it except that all y'all been putting this on Instagram and Tumblr like you caught a 20-pound striped bass. You've been putting this up like it's a trophy, like you actually landed it as opposed to just went to a store and bought some. Um, I landed it, okay? I have a friend in
Easy,
Indiana who
easy.
mailed it to me in the desert. So this is a trophy, my friends. This is going up on Tony's wall when all is said and done.
Back in the
Even if we
garage.
don't like it, it's still going up on Tony's wall just to
Oh
show that
yeah, yeah.
yeah, we've had the
The
zombie dust
artwork, like,
experience.
and I've said some of my bottles out in the garage are because I like the
Well,
artwork.
I
It's pretty
seriously,
cool
you've got to
art.
be you. This is something that I mean, this will have to go up on your shelf because, like I said, everybody's been
The
putting this up.
mystique.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we go to Tenaya Creek pretty regularly. One of our regular
Yeah.
bartenders, Katie, was telling
Hi,
us that she
Katie.
had some that had gone past its expiration date, but she, kept it anyway. She knows a lot more. She's had plenty of zombie dust. This is both of us breaking our zombie dust cherries today. Um, and Three Floyds, I see now is Tony's right. It's from Munster,
Munster,
Indiana.
Indiana.
We did look on the cap. Tony tried desperately to read the outer edge of this cap.
It's tough to read. It's
Um,
like
there is no ABV. There's no IBU. The bottled on date is
February of this year.
yeah February 24th of this year. So
Can I just real quickly say, if anybody's out there and has any kind of say or control over what goes on the labels, whether it be, I don't care if it's a can or a bottle. I really want to see the ABV. I really want to see an IBU if it's an ale or an IPA.
you know,
Too many of these bottles
this is
lately
actually
are
pale ale.
lacking.
I
Yeah,
was
it's
mistaken.
pale
I
ale.
thought it was an IPA, but it's actually pale ale. But yeah,
Well,
but you're
more
still right though.
more so with IPAs, especially when there's
Yeah.
no IBUs on there. I'm like, come on. I mean, yes, I can go to the internet. Yes, I can probably get my answer. But when you're, purchasing the bottle, it's kind of cool to have all your info kind of all squeezed
Especially
on
an
there at once.
ABV. Maybe
ABV is
maybe I want
important
a
number,
light. Maybe I just
right?
came home. Maybe I've had a couple of beers and I feel
Yeah,
like another one, but I don't want a high.
sure, exactly. Yeah,
And I don't know what I'm dealing with. When I don't see an ABV, I'm going on the assumption that we're somewhere between 4 to 6.5 at most for an
that sounds
ABV.
right. I mean, that
But
sounds like
I don't know.
a fair.
I mean,
So if anybody's watching and you actually work at a brewery or know somebody that does, or you can just say it to whoever, like if your favorite brewery, you actually go there a lot, get that information on there. I mean, if you have any way to do it, to me, it's
we'll put it this
very
way,
important.
okay? I know, having judged home brewing beers, if you submitted a beer and you did not have an ABV on your home brew, it wouldn't even be accepted as a submission.
Well,
So that's just something to consider. Home brewers can't get away without putting their ABVs on their beers.
exactly.
Professional brewers
Come
should be held to
on.
the same standard.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
enough talk.
Enough talk.
Let's try this epic, momentous beer. Tony's going to use the pop the top opener from
If I can figure
Taza
out which way
Designs.
to
We are
turn
trying
the
to
way.
just right. At least we're not getting the glare that I normally get when we're outside.
That's true.
And this is definitely a cap you would want to keep. So
Yeah, it's
Tony's going
pretty,
to
pretty
show
jazzy. It's a candy striped, kind of got a Willy Wonka kind of thing going on.
if you were the keeper of caps, you would
Damn
be
it, huh?
very happy with your Taza
Yeah.
on this particular one. Tony's showing you that there's no damage to it.
Yep.
And you might even be able to read parts of what he could read too. I mean, it really
There's some really
is.
small writing along the
Yeah, and
ridges,
it's
so
right along the ridges too.
yeah,
It's yeah.
so it kind of climbs and drops, so the writing on there is kind of
But
really hard to
I've heard
read.
good things from Three Floyds Brewing. Recently, I want to say, God, Massive Beer Reviews uh, put up his review of Gumball. I forget what kind of variety Gumball was, but it's a Three Floyds beer. Three Floyds has a really great reputation across the beer boards, so I'm really looking forward to this. And as always, considering Tony has the pouring skill, and we're using the special miniaturized pint glasses that we got at a Stone takeover at Aces and Aces
Yes.
over on Tenaya
Love you guys.
here in Sin City. Tony's going to do the honors.
Smells nice. Nice and hoppy. Hoppy,
Hoppy
joy,
pale
joy.
ale.
Hoppy, joy, joy. It smells pretty hoppy.
I've had a few pale ales that I thought were, actually pretty hoppy for a pale ale. I've had IPAs that I thought would have been better labeled as just simply pale ales than IPAs. So
I try to make it where we have like an equal amount, and sometimes it's hard to do when the glasses are smaller. There you go. It's kind of
very hazy.
very hazy.
I'm seeing, I'd say maybe medium carbonation. Actually, high carbonation. Before I start swirling it. Yeah, this is actually pretty high carbonation. Very cloudy. Very cloudy.
Yeah, it
looks like your grandfather's urine sample. It's actually what it looks like.
I was thinking that morning piss that you take right when you crawl into bed. It's like the darkest one you take all day long. Yeah.
One that starts to.
Don't know if we're making people whet their appetite right now by speaking of urine.
The analogies of beer and piss have been going around for a long time. So but the color actually is a very nice color despite being hazy.
It smells like a session IPA.
I agree with Tony. It sure does. Floyd, those hops are coming right up.
Yeah. Pale ale, huh? Says it on the bottle, pale ale.
Yeah, pale ale.
It's a dark pale ale. It's a strong pale ale.
Shall we?
Let's do it. The legend of zombiedust is going down the hatch.
You know what? I'm gonna have one more. I'm gonna cleanse my palate one more time.
Look at that. You left me like.
But I stopped before you took a swallow.
Yes, I did.
You want another palate cleanser? Or you feel your?
I've cleansed before we started the video. So here's the zombiedust.
Here's the zombiedust.
All the mystique around it.
That's pretty good pale ale.
That packs a punch for a pale ale. There's a lot of T's.
It really does
for a pale ale.
And
wow.
And tasting it, despite all that hoppy aroma, tasting it is a pale ale. This has a little bit of cracker. That's sort of that's what I normally get from a pale ale. That malty kind of cracker flavor, and I'm getting that along with hops. And because that is so pervasive, I could say that this definitely is, in fact, a pale ale. They have labeled this correctly. This is a pale ale as opposed to an IPA.
It is. It's just one of the hoppiest pale ales I can ever recall drinking.
This is good.
It's very good.
This deserves its reputation. This is not a case of, when you finally.
I do think though this beer would confuse some people that were wanted a pale ale. Like I think of a famous pale ale. I think of like Sierra Nevada or even Sam Adams made
compared
to
a pale ale,
and those are pretty
Sierra Nevada.
So this could actually throw somebody they drink it whoa, this is a lot more.
Yeah, this is this is like a high-low mouthfeel actually. I'm still feeling spikiness after having gone a couple of seconds after tasting
Interesting aftertaste too. It kind of comes along about halfway through and it changes directions a little bit.
Are you feeling a slight bit of high alcohol ABV? That burn, slight.
And that's again goes
I'm
back
getting
to
it
my
in my
point.
nose. I'm getting it actually a little bit of burn in my nose.
Somewhat, yeah. It's noticeable. I guess depends on your tolerance, but it is noticeable for sure. And again, that goes back to what I was saying with the bottle. It's let's put some ABVs on these things, people. Fantastic beer.
It would be better. It would be nice to have ABVs, but still, this is a hell of a beer. This really is.
It's really good. Such an interesting aftertaste, though. I'm trying to think because it almost changes directions.
It does.
And goes somewhere, and I'm trying to liken it to something.
I know this is crazy, but I can see why they would say something dust, because when I was at my grandparents' farm, we'd go through plenty of dust roads, and if you were in the back of the truck, you would end up inhaling dust from the dust roads. So you get kind of a dust flavor.
Yeah.
This has kind of that flavor, but not in a bad way. There's that sort of residual. After the taste, there's still you feel something kind of coating your tongue and mouth. Yeah. But it's not bad. I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't know how else to. Any other time I'd say if something coats your tongue and mouth, that would be awful. but this isn't. It's still that sort of.
It's interesting. It's.
I wonder if they use like malt dust or hop dust or one of the two in order to.
I wonder if there's a bio about the beer
And
on
it's
their
not
website.
gritty. That's the thing is, at the same time something is coating, there's no grit. Like as I move my teeth across
Right.
each other, I don't feel that sort of
Right.
gravelly, sort of sense that you get.
But the aftertaste to me is it's kind of, to me, that's kind of where the alcohol kind of does emerge.
Yeah, because then
Because to me it
you
takes
wait a second and then there's that kind of, oh, hi, alcohol
yeah,
burn.
exactly.
Yeah.
It takes me away from the hops that are in the beer. It seems to like kind of get to like a crossroad, and then the hops kind of tail off, and then the alcohol kind of rises, like
It's
you
a
were
very
saying.
complex beer, that's for
Excuse me.
sure. Yeah.
I said, excuse me, Mom. Manners when you do videos, young man, or you don't get any more beer.
This intensely hopped and gushing undead pale ale will be one's only respite after the zombie apocalypse, created with our marvelous friends in the comic industry, art by Tim Seeley. So
Cool
we've
art.
got Tim Seeley art.
Real cool.
I am now seeing why you guys are putting this up as your trophy. But I still feel as though I am more of the hunter than any of you in the
I'm
Central
talking
States.
trash here.
I'm just saying. I'm just
Wow.
saying. I managed to get this into the
Aggressive
desert.
today.
This got to the desert. All of you in Central States who, basically just had to go to your corner market. I'm just
A little
saying.
feisty today. It's good stuff. Real good
It is
beer.
good stuff. It's good
A
beer.
surprising pale ale. Very
I'm
surprising.
really hoping that Chris sends more Three Floyds beer in the
Yeah.
future. Definitely. I try. Yeah, I was trying so hard to think of different breweries here in Vegas to send him, and then I thought, in the end, I would rather he send me breweries that I know that I dig. So I'm going to be doing the same thing with that. But if you are somewhere like, if you're somewhere, say in New England, and you have access to Maine beers, and you want to do a trade, write me on here. Let me know because I really Maine is coming out with some extraordinary breweries right now. My cousin, she has a camp up in Scott. No, they're not in Skowhegan. They're in East Millinocket. They're in Millinocket. And anyway, so there's a lot of good breweries coming out around that specific area, right around central Maine. And so if you're a Mainer and you're wanting to try some desert beers, let me know. We could work something out.
Yeah.
But I'm
also,
really, really digging this. I'm sorry.
great beer. No, I was also going to add, by the time that Chris posts this video, happy birthday!
Yeah. It will have been
Birthday
my
boy!
44th birthday. So
Oh, so write him some nice comments and wish him happy birthday, and
and
tell him Boston.
send me a birthday card with a gift certificate to Lee's or.
Very aggressive today, insulting people, demanding things. I like this guy. Do it.
This was a good beer, and this was
Really
this was
good.
actually pretty cool.
What would you grade
And,
it on Untapped, if you don't mind sharing that information? What would you score it on Untapped?
I gotta jump on the bandwagon. Probably give this like a 4.5, maybe a 4.75. This is because
Wow.
this is so complex.
Last
It's
week's
so,
review of the 10-man Parrot Sour Ale, you gave 4 or 5 as well.
Yeah.
4.5.
Yeah.
He's generous with his scores.
Yep.
Good beer, guys.
Yeah, Hoosierbeer is
Great
coming
beer.
through on these.
And I wore my
those
Pink
two.
Floyd shirt today because we were doing Three
Three
Floyds, so I
Floyds
figured,
brewing. So yeah, that's
trying to
actually-
be clever. I don't have a T-shirt of theirs, obviously. So. But good stuff.
Till
Very,
then,
very, very good stuff.
Drink good beer. Don't break the bank doing
Don't
it.
break the bank.
And one of the best ways to do that is to make a connection in another city.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Later.
Thanks
all.
again, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.